Hi there. Now, letters of recommendations are probably the least point of concern for students. And in fact, most students start worrying about LORs after the SOP has been drafted or the personal statement has been drafted. But most students don't realize the gravity and the importance that the LOR is associated with. Right. In today's video, I'm going to talk about how to write the most amazing LORs, things that will tell the admissions committee that you deserve to be selected. This video will also include some examples on how to make all the points in your LOR and structure it nicely. And remember, this is a continuation of a previous video where I talked about the common misconceptions and doubts that students face when considering a letter of recommendation, or at least when seeking an LOR. So do watch that video if you haven't already. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I'm the founder and mentor of this platform called mentorscapital.com. By connecting students with mentors from across the globe, we hope to help students make better and more informed choices. We do know that these mentors have been through the same admission journey as you have, and probably can give you, relatable advice and practical advice that can really make a difference in your admission journey. Right. I'm going to get started on this topic, but before I do so, do remember to check out the next video, because I'm going to talk about the important red flags when you're trying to shortlist colleges and universities or even programs to study abroad, and make sure that you watch that video and don't get duped by fake universities. All right, so let's talk about an LOR. The purpose of an LOR is to convince the admission committee that not only do you believe that you are good enough to be selected, but have also been evaluated by somebody senior enough who will certify that you are ready to study further, that your skills gained in the undergraduate program are sufficient, and they augur well for the future as well in terms of potential, and don't just have the skills and the abilities to study, but also the motivation and the drive to succeed in the future in your chosen career, right? So those are broadly the things that admission committees and will look for in an LOR. So it's pretty important from that perspective. And remember, even though it does talk about pretty much the same things as the statement of purpose, it still is supposed to be an unbiased third-person view of what your candidature is, right? So it becomes important and is given due importance by AdComs. Well, the structure of an LOR, actually at this point, I'm going to quickly sort of also tell you that letters of recommendations are solicited in very, very different ways, right? Some programs actually don't give you any format, don't give you any specific questions, and simply say that we require a letter of recommendation from a referee of academic or professional background. Well, if it is if there is no word count specified and if there is no questions specified in the recommendation, then you can structure it very, very simply as something that has an introduction, that has meat in the body of your letter, and finally concludes with a finishing argument, right? So make sure that you have a template in case the university does not give you one, right? And the template actually should be as easy as the one that I gave you, because instead of complicating the structure and the components of a letter of recommendation, I think you'd rather focus all your energy on making sure that these components create a positive impression, right? So think about the start, right? Make sure that when you reach out to the recommender, you tell him or her that the recommendation needs to go on their official letterhead, right? And this is a letterhead that will display their name, full name, their the position that they hold, the title and designation that they hold in the university that they go to, and also the address of the institute or organization that they work for. So all of these information on the letterhead make it official, right? And besides the official sort of letterhead at the top, it also needs to have an opening paragraph, right? Something that introduces why the recommendation is coming by and what it seeks to sort of what it seeks to achieve. This must be followed by the meat of your letter, right? Which contains pretty much the main points that you want to make in the body of your essay. Broadly speaking, the meat of your essay should include, a quick background of, how this interaction between you and the recommender happened, right? How that person knows you, the kind of relationship they share with you, right? Is it cordial? Is it a little more amiable? Is it something which is very deep? And is it something that is out of the ordinary in terms of other candidates that maybe collaborate with the recommender? And finally, also should include some basic observations about you in terms of character and in terms of skills and abilities, right? So you make those, you need to make those points in the body of your essay, and obviously you need to find a way of doing that. And having done all of that, you need to make sure that you have a concluding statement right at the end where you again circle back to the main points, but also reiterate that you believe in the candidacy of the person whom you are recommending, and you believe that they are worthy of a bright future in the near and long term, and also that you fully endorse their application admission to the program and university that they are seeking to get into, right? So that's broadly the structure that you need to keep. However, some universities, some programs actually give you specific questions to be answered by the recommender, and in fact some of them don't even give you the questions. They merely ask for the contact details of the recommender, the name, title, and email address of the recommender, and the link is directly sent to the person who's recommending you. So it becomes their responsibility to fulfill all the requirements. You might request the recommender to contact you and do the needful, but I'm sure that's something you can manage. All right, let's talk about the three components very, very quickly. How should you start a letter of recommendation? Keep it formal, but also make it very, very positive. Remember, not having a very, very flat, banal start to the recommendation letter would mean that there is a very, strong impression on somebody who's reading the letter, right? Saying that I'm thrilled or I'm delighted or it gives me great pleasure to write a letter of recommendation for so-and-so person will really start off the essay on a good note. Immediately following these lines, you should talk about the background information. Tell them how the candidate is known to you, how long have you known him, what courses have you taught him, and so on and so forth. Next up is the body, right? In the body, like I said, you introduced the recommender, right? I hold this position in this the college or university. I was the faculty, for taking this subject for this class. I also was project coordinator or student advisor or maybe even, research advisor for this candidate in these years of his 4-year, 3-year degree program. And after giving this kind of a background, you might then jump into, quick sort of transactional information, also about the kind of work that you've collaborated upon, right? I have indeed observed that once you tell them about the projects that you've done together that collaborated upon, you can then delve into specific observations that he or she might have noticed in you. I have noticed that so and so person can work independently, can effectively collaborate with others. He or she took initiative to and went out of the way to conduct discussions and focus group discussions with with other peer members. He also displays a knack for technical analysis. If it's a technical program of study, make sure that you highlight specific aspect of the project that are technical in nature, that also agree with the program that you're applying for, because that's how a professor or an academic referee would talk about and relate what you've studied with what you wish to study in the future. And this, all of this needs to also include some personality traits, right? Some leadership traits, such as, have you collaborated with others? Have you taken new initiatives? Have you have you come up with new ideas, and have you then executed those ideas with conviction and determination, right? So those aspects need to be considered in the body of your essay, right? So think about specific instances of collaboration, results and outcomes, as well as, technical and non-technical traits that, could be highlighted by the recommender in the body of the letter. And finally, well, make sure that you close out the letter with, finishing statements that that quickly sort of summarize, your assessment of the candidate. He or she is a dedicated, talented student, and bodes well for a research career in the future. I have no reservations, no qualms in stating that he should be, he must be, or he deserves to be offered a seat in your prestigious program, right? And holds tremendous potential for the future, right? So these are the kind of words that indicate closeness with you. I would also leave these comments with a pinch of salt, because make sure that the language you use, is not overly sweet, is not overly sugar coated, because most professors don't really talk in glowing terms about their students. Nor do managers that you've worked with in internships, right? So there will be an element of praise, but it will be more matter of fact, and it will need to be tempered by facts, right? And wherever facts are available, make sure that you highlight it, because then that will be more believable on your letter of recommendation. Well, that's the extent of today's video. Do join me in the next video, where I'm going to talk about red flags that can possibly, that you can possibly encounter in searching for universities or programs to study abroad. Our services cover the entire gamut, right from shortlisting stage, where when you look at programs, universities, and geographies, to actually creating the applications, writing SOPs, LORs, drafting essays, and also preparing yourself for video assessments, interviews, and whatnot. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you feel that we can give you some advice, some assistance in any of these, services. My name is Anand Venkatesan. I wish you all the very best in your future endeavor. Do like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And if you have any comments, do click on the link in the description, and I'd be glad to take any queries one-on-one with you guys. Thank you. Have a great day, and wish you all the very best.